Hello, welcome to American Dream Life, how to grow your beliefs and retain your heritage. And today's subject of the conversation is how to be yourself. And what created that conversation and created the life was some situation that I've been dealing with, and that kind of created some reflection how important is for us to stand in our own power, uh, because if we don't, we either operate from an ego and becoming kind of like an ass, or we operate of ass kisser, meaning pleasing others to find the acceptance from others. So we feel once we do that, if they will accept us, we will accept ourselves, and it's furthest from the truth, because it's a really temporary thing. If we please them and kiss their asses enough to a certain degree, they possibly will be accepting us. But once you get tired with that, or maybe they change their mind, they will be in a different mood, and they decide that they don't want to accept you anymore because you can do so much good, and they determine that you done one thing wrong per their filters. All of a sudden they will not no longer accept you. They might not talk to you, and all of a sudden you're creating big turmoil in uh, in your head and within yourself, why they don't accept me, and why, and I don't have that permission from them to accept myself. You do have a permission, so start actually giving yourself permission to accept yourself. You don't need that validation from the outside world by pleasing others, and also operating from the ego standpoint. It also, when you becoming an ass and kind of closing your mind on into things and filtering, or sometimes even blocking, and cannot clearly comprehend what's going on around you, there definitely, you don't really have much of a control. Ego is just controlling you, and there's really many times nothing good coming out of it. And to really have a true control is to actually accepting yourself and standing in your power. That's pretty much what it means. To stand in your power is to fully accept yourself, not resorting to the ego talks, and not pleasing others to find that acceptance. So it is within you, and I know it's not easy. I'm not just saying that because I just found it, and that's the reason I'm sharing how we operate. And I thought it will be of value to you to share, for you to reflect on what I just shared, because many times the awareness is the key. When we start understanding where we're coming from, and when we, like, everything is going out of control, and we're not sure why, what's happening to me, why I don't have any control, why things not going my way. Well, because your ego possibly talking, or you in that moment when the pleasing part, either for you getting pretty tired of pleasing others, and giving away your power, and keep chasing after acceptance of yourself from others, and or they actually just kind of helping for you to wake up and, like, not accepting you, and instead of you getting back to your power, you taking possibly that hard on yourself, that if they don't accept me, it means something wrong with me. I cannot accept myself, and creating some big chaos and turmoil within you. And instead of just going and start really kind of creating the awareness, where why you're not accepting yourself. Who told you you cannot accept yourself? You are a perfect human being. And sometimes I know it might be painful to recall some of the past memories, potentially from some incidents with someone, or that created potentially, and it's keep playing in your programming, that is kind of triggering with some new events or some new people, that lack of acceptance, that you need to please others in order to feel accepted. And I'm talking strongly about it because honestly, I've been on that journey for some time, and I know it's not an easy journey. And I um, I experienced that operation from the ego, where there definitely were some blinders, and the decision weren't made the best decision, because I just want to be right and in control out of the ego. And definitely, it wasn't kind of nice picture when I was operating from that ego standpoint, and same when I was pleasing. I possibly more operated from that perspective, and sometimes it also became painful and very hurtful when I start questioning um, why I'm doing the best I could to support that person, and all of a sudden, that person feels that I didn't do anything, discounting my support, or moving on, and I'm taking that personally, and because I started determining, yeah, I felt that I need to have the acceptance from the others to accept myself. And once I start standing more in my power, it's affecting me less. When somebody will not agree with me, I'm getting to the point that I'm okay with it. Well, you can have. I don't need your approval or acceptance, because I know who I am, and that's the point of how to be yourself. And if you don't agree with me, fine. And you have that right, and I have my right to stand in my power and be myself. And same, many times we get to work on that ego talk, when we actually standing more in our power. Sometimes it's less, and it's easier to spot when you start actually coming from the ego, when you feel kind of overconfident in certain things, because it becomes a little bit easier after you practice some things. And with that overconfidence, sometimes it can get you to the trouble word of that ego talk. Oh, I know everything, and I don't need anybody's support, or something like that. And there's some kind of blinders, especially with experience. I In my word, many times, what I kind of observe, especially with the people with the big ego and blinders, when they feel that they have years of experience into some field, or into practice, they really start operating from that ego, and they have big blinders, even though maybe industry is changing, or whatever, they became proficient or more than proficient in certain areas. Things changing, and they blended themselves and operating from an ego to the point of not upgrading their skills. And it's not easy to have the conversation with that person, because they pretty much stuck and they want their way. And it's really difficult to go through their filters, to help them realize that some things can actually be taken care of differently. And it's not always my way or the highway, depending on how you look at perspective, and be open to different possibilities in certain situation is very crucial. And it's hard to do it when we operate that from the ego, when it's more important to be right than take pretty much perspective, or look at the situation from different angles. And we can kind of get in trouble for that, ourselves, because we feel that that's the only way to to be accepted if we that strong. Possibly it's like coming from one side to the other, that possibly we've been hurt so many times by others by pleasing them. We kind of going sliding to the other extreme of that over control. We felt that we protecting ourselves when we're not allowing anybody to hurt us, but when we really operating from the ego again, we not only hurting ourselves but possibly hurting others with that stuckness when it's a heavy air and energies, and it leads to many arguments, and everybody kind of get reactive and defending their sides, and there's no win situation. It's pretty much lose-lose. So that's what I want to share today, based on my experiences and the reflection that I made with some recent also again situation that I created the awareness, and I was like curious and started asking some open-ended question: why I experienced that, why I feel that kind of stuckness and some heavy energy in the air, and be more open to see why that was important for me to dive into and reflect more on it, what I get to kind of learn out of that experience and that lesson, to move forward and practicing more of accepting of myself and be myself, instead of either operating out of ego or pleasing others, and just standing kind of strong within my power. And then when I do that, things are definitely working into my favor. So that's kind of the tip. Because many times we think that we just have to operate from one extreme to the other, and we cannot just be kind of more centered and united, and we actually can go much further when we are united in ourselves, and that will help with that unity with other human beings. When we more center with ourselves, we're not taking personally and relying on their acceptance, or we're not trying to impose our control over them because we feel that they're not doing the way we want them to do, and let them to live their life and be standing in their power. And even I highly recommend, when you see that the person, and if it's possible, because sometimes it's not, like I explained before, it's hard to talk to some egomaniacs that that they so stuck that sometimes it's just not possible. They just better to just leave it alone, walk away, than have the argument and wasting our time, energies with the person like that. And same the other way, when you feel that the person really, it's so important for that person to please others, to start accepting themselves. They definitely need support. And if you feeling that you are standing in your power and can support them, show them, based on your example, that you are standing in your power, and it's possible for them as well when they start accepting more who they are, and not giving the power away. They there definitely some sparkles in their eyes start showing up when they come to that realization. And I love to see that when I get to experience those kind of breakthroughs for others, and I love experiencing my own as well. So anyhow, I've been kind of sharing some thoughts and reflection for about 15 minutes. So I hope you're enjoying, and you can get some golden nuggets, some refreshers, some possibly, I know, new stuff based on my experience, and some possibly something resonates. So I would love to see if there's anything resonates with you, or there's some golden nuggets that that you are taking out of that, and that may support you. And that's all the purpose I'm sharing that. I know how important many times we feel that we are alone, we don't have any support, and kind of closing in sitting kind of in the box, instead of start picking through that box and breaking through that box to experience life to the fullest, to standing in our powers, be ourselves, and enjoying our life to the fullest. And we do have that opportunity every single day, and it's up to us to give ourselves permission to do that. It's not up to anybody else, it's up to us. So that's what I want to leave you with. And if there's anything I can do to support you, feel free to reach out. Sending lots of love. Stay well, stay healthy, and talk to you soon.